Jonathan Pierce thought he knew the woman he was about to marry. Elegant, cultured, perfect with his children. But when his dying mother-in-law whispered, "Watch her with the help," everything changed. What he discovered when he disguised himself as a chef in his own Manhattan penthouse wasn't just cruelty. It was a calculated plot to destroy his children's minds, steal their $50 million inheritance, and then murder him to cover it all up. And the only person standing between his kids and complete destruction? Naomi, the black maid who'd been his late wife's best friend, documenting every crime in a hidden journal, waiting for the day he'd finally come home and see the truth. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button right now and tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is. New York? Los Angeles? Let me know, because what you're about to hear will make you rethink everyone you've ever trusted. At 45, Jonathan Pierce had built a $3.7 billion hedge fund empire. His penthouse overlooked Central Park. But 2 years after losing his wife Diane to a brain aneurysm, the silence in that apartment felt like drowning. Then he met Simone Dubois at a charity gala at the Met. 30 years old, art curator, Sorbonne educated. She didn't fawn over his wealth. She talked about raising his 3 children with structure and sophistication. 6 months later, he proposed at Fiancée. But 3 weeks before the wedding, something happened he couldn't shake. He found his 11-year-old daughter Maya crying in the hallway, back pressed against the wall. "I want to go to Grandma Patricia's house," she sobbed. Patricia was Diane's mother. She'd died 2 months earlier. Maya knew this. "I know," she whispered, "but I'd rather be with her than here." Before Jonathan could respond, Simone appeared. The second Maya saw her, the tears stopped like someone flipped a switch. "I had a bad dream," Maya said robotically, then ran to her room. That night, Jonathan remembered something. The day before Patricia died, she'd grabbed his hand in the hospital and slurred through stroke damage. Watch her with the help. You'll see." He thought she was confused. Now those words came back like ice water. The next morning, Jonathan told Simone he was flying to London for a month. Emergency business meetings. She kissed him at the door, perfect and poised. He never got on that plane. Instead, he grew out his beard, bought brown contact lenses, had documents forged for a culinary degree under the name David Morris, and called his own penthouse claiming the previous chef had quit. He walked into his building 3 days later wearing kitchen whites. The doorman who'd known him 8 years looked right through him. The service elevator opened into the kitchen Diane had designed. Jonathan's throat tightened, remembering her dancing to Motown while making Sunday breakfast with the kids laughing. "You must be David." A woman stood in the doorway. Naomi Jackson, Diane's college roommate, maid of honor, godmother to all 3 children. Jonathan had known her 12 years, shared meals, watched her hold baby Cameron when he was born. Now he looked at her, heart hammering, waiting for recognition. Naomi's eyes swept over him slowly. Then she smiled, polite and professional. "Welcome. Let me show you around." But as she turned, Jonathan caught something in her expression. Sadness. She knows, he thought, or suspects. "Mrs. Dubois is very particular," Naomi said carefully. "The children eat separately from her. She prefers they eat in the breakfast nook while she takes her meal in the dining room. They're on a very strict diet. Oatmeal, steamed vegetables, grilled chicken. No sugar, no seasoning." "They're kids," Jonathan said sharply. "Don't they ever get pancakes?" Naomi looked at him, something flickering in her eyes. "Not anymore. Not since Mrs. Dubois moved in." Then Simone appeared. Beautiful, cold eyes. She looked at Jonathan like he was furniture. "You must be the new chef. I expect perfection. The children are difficult eaters. They've been spoiled. They eat what I tell them, when I tell them. No treats. No negotiations. And they are not to be coddled. If they refuse to eat, I handle discipline. Am I clear?" "Crystal clear," Jonathan said through clenched teeth. After she left, Naomi whispered, "How long has she been like this?" Jonathan asked. "Since the day Mr. Pierce left for his first business trip after they got engaged. She made it clear what happens to staff who cause problems. The last housekeeper questioned her methods. Simone claimed she was stealing. Police found a bracelet planted in her bag. That woman's in jail fighting charges she can't afford. Jonathan felt punched. So you stay quiet. We do what we can to protect those babies when she's not looking. That's all we can do. At 7 a.m., Jonathan heard small footsteps. Maya appeared first, thin, hair pulled back tight. Behind her, Jordan, 8 years old, shoulders hunched. Then Cameron, too, holding Naomi's hand. No bright smile, just subdued. They climbed into chairs and stared at the plain oatmeal like it was punishment. "Good morning," Jonathan said softly. Maya's voice was flat. "Good morning." Cameron's bottom lip trembled. "Is there a problem?" Simone's voice cut through the kitchen. "No, ma'am," Maya said quickly. "Then eat." Cameron started crying. Quiet sobs. "He's 2, Jonathan said. "Maybe he's not hungry." The room went silent. Simone's ice-blue eyes turned on him. "Did I ask for your opinion? The child will eat or go hungry. That's how children learn discipline." Naomi knelt beside Cameron. "Shh, baby. One tiny bite for Auntie Nay." Cameron took a shaky breath and swallowed, tears streaming. "See?" Simone said coldly. "He just needs proper handling." "Naomi spoils him." Jonathan gripped the counter, knuckles white. After the children left for school, Naomi stood in the doorway. "You can drop the accent when it's just us," she said quietly. Jonathan's head snapped up. "What?" "The southern accent. You slip when you're upset. When Cameron was crying, you said he's 2 in your real voice." She finally looked at him. "Mr. Pierce, I've known you 12 years. You think a beard and contacts will fool me? You have a scar on your left hand from Thanksgiving 6 years ago." Jonathan stared at the thin white line across his palm. "How long have you known?" "The second you walked in. You move like him, stand like him, smell like the same cedar soap." Her voice cracked. "I've been praying for months you'd come home and see what I've been seeing. Tell me everything." Naomi pulled out a key and led him to her room. From under her bed, she retrieved a locked box. Inside was a black composition notebook. "I started keeping this 3 months ago. Every incident, every threat." Jonathan opened it. September 8th, Mrs. Dubois made Jordan stand in the corner for 2 hours. Wouldn't let him use the bathroom. He wet himself. She made him clean it while calling him disgusting. September 22nd, threw away all photos of Diane from the children's rooms. Told them their mother was weak and that's why she died. October 3rd, found bruises on Jordan's arm, 5 finger-shaped marks. October 18th, Mrs. Dubois told Cameron his mama didn't love him enough to stay alive. He's 2 years old. Jonathan was openly crying. "Jesus Christ, Naomi, why didn't you call me? I tried 4 times. Your assistant blocked me. I tried email, spam filter. I tried telling you when you came home, but she was always there controlling every conversation." Naomi pulled out a plastic bag with pill bottles, labels scratched off. "I found these in her bathroom. Ipecac makes you vomit. The others are sedatives. I think she's been drugging them. Jordan has constant stomach aches. Maya can barely stay awake at school." "She's drugging them," Jonathan whispered. "But I can't prove it without taking them to a doctor, and she'd never allow it. If I go to police with suspicions, she'll plant evidence. I'll go to jail and the kids will have no one." Naomi started crying. "I've been so scared, so alone." Jonathan pulled her into a hug. "You're not alone anymore. This ends now." Drop a comment. Have you ever had someone in your life who seemed perfect but was completely different behind closed doors? The next evening, Simone hosted a dinner party. Art dealers, museum curators, Manhattan socialites. Jonathan prepared seared scallops and beef Wellington while his stomach churned. That morning, Naomi had whispered, "She's been coaching Maya, telling her what to say about how happy she is." And I found a folder in her office. A psychiatrist named Dr. Richard Chen. Emails about evaluations and treatment facilities. I think she's trying to have them committed. Committed. The word had echoed in Jonathan's head all day. At 7, Naomi brought the children down, dressed like dolls. Simone called everyone to attention. "I want you all to meet Jonathan's beautiful children." The kids walked to her like prisoners. "This is Maya, 11 and brilliant. And Jordan, 8. A bit shy, but we're working on that with behavioral coaching. And Cameron, 2. Still learning manners. A woman dripping in diamonds leaned down. They're beautiful, Simone. Though it's been an adjustment, Simone said. Their previous caregivers let them run wild. Children need boundaries, especially children who've experienced trauma. She looked at Maya. Why don't you tell everyone how you feel about our new family? Maya's voice was robotic. I'm very grateful. Simone has taught me about responsibility. I'm excited about our future. The guests made approving sounds. They didn't see Maya's trembling hands, Jordan's inability to meet anyone's eyes, Cameron trying to reach for Naomi. They've come so far, Simone continued, though Maya has been struggling with emotional issues. Acting out. Jonathan and I have been consulting with specialists. We have an evaluation next week with Dr. Richard Chen. We want to make sure we're giving Maya every resource, and if necessary, recommend a residential program. Residential program. Jonathan froze. She was building a narrative to justify sending Maya away. How does Maya feel about that? A guest asked. Simone looked down. Maya, tell them what you told me this morning. Maya stared at the floor. I think maybe I need more help than we can do at home. Sometimes I have scary thoughts. She'd coached his daughter to beg for institutionalization. Jonathan turned away, vision going red. Later, Naomi whispered, Diane changed her will a week before she died. Left $50 million in trust for the kids. They get it at 25 if they're mentally competent. If they're institutionalized, the money goes to you. And if you're married, it becomes marital property. $50 million. That's what this was about. I need to see that folder, Jonathan said. They picked the lock on Simone's office. Inside the drawer were emails between Simone and Dr. Chen. The evaluation will conclude Maya requires residential treatment. I'll wire the remaining $200,000 once paperwork is filed. We'll follow the same timeline for the other 2 children. Jordan by Christmas, Cameron when he turns 4. By then, my marriage will be secure and the trust will be contested. Jonathan's hands shook. She'd bought a psychiatrist. At the bottom was a notebook in Simone's handwriting. Phase 1, establish relationship with JP. Complete. Phase 3, begin psychological conditioning. Make them appear unstable. In progress. Phase 5, institutionalize M, contest trust. Phase 7, arrange accident for JP. Make it look natural. Stress-related heart attack. Year 3-4. Arrange accident. She was planning to kill him. Jonathan photographed everything. They locked it back exactly as they found it. That night, Jonathan called his attorney. Marcus, I need you at my office, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Bring a family court lawyer and a criminal attorney. I'm about to destroy the woman I almost married. The next morning, Jonathan started breakfast. The last time. At 7, the children came down. Maya exhausted, Jordan like a ghost, Cameron clinging to Naomi. Simone appeared, perfect as always. David, I'll need lunch prepared. Dr. Chen is coming at noon to meet Maya informally. Maya's fork clattered. Jonathan set down his pan. Mrs. Dubois, may I speak with you privately? Can it wait? No, ma'am. In her office, Jonathan closed the door, locked it, pulled off his glasses, removed the brown contacts, revealing blue eyes. Simone went still. That's impossible. You're in London? I've been here the whole time, watching you. He pulled out his phone, scrolling through photos. I have emails where you paid Dr. Chen $200,000 to fabricate a diagnosis. Your handwritten timeline planning to institutionalize all 3 children, and a note about arranging an accident for me once you'd secured the inheritance. Her face went white. Then the mask melted. What remained was empty, cold. You think you're so smart, but you have no idea what you've done. You abandoned those children, left them with me for months. You handed them to me. I made a mistake trusting you. I'm fixing it now. You can't prove any of that. I have connections, judges, lawyers. By the time I'm done, you'll be investigated for child endangerment. I'll destroy you. There was a knock. Naomi's voice. Mr. Pierce, the children are asking for you. Jonathan opened the door. Behind Naomi were Maya, Jordan, Cameron. And behind them, Marcus Chen, his attorney, Detective Sarah Martinez from Manhattan SVU, and Dr. Patricia Okonkwo from Mount Sinai. Simone's face went white. What is this? This is what happens when you underestimate people who love children. Detective Martinez stepped forward. Simone Dubois, we have evidence of child endangerment, fraud, conspiracy. We'd like you to come to the station. I'm not saying anything without my attorney. That's your right. The detective pulled out handcuffs. But I am placing you under arrest. As they read Simone her rights, Jonathan knelt before his children. It's okay. You're safe now. Maya stared. David? No, baby. It's Dad. I've been here the whole time. I needed to see the truth so I could protect you. You were the cook? Jordan's mouth dropped. I was. I'm so sorry I didn't see it sooner. But I'm here now, and I'm never leaving again. Maya started sobbing. She said we were sick. She said? She lied. You're perfect, and you're never going anywhere you don't want to go. Naomi stepped forward, pulling out the black notebook. I documented every single thing you did for 3 months, every threat, every abuse. It's all here. Simone's face twisted with rage. You had no right. I had every right, because someone had to be their mother when you pretended to be one. As they led Simone out, she hissed, This isn't over. The door closed. Cameron touched Jonathan's face. Dada. Yeah, buddy, it's Dada. What should happen to people like Simone? Prison only or something more? Drop your thoughts below. 6 months later, they moved to a house in Westchester. Real home. Warm. A yard. A dog named Biscuit. Maya was in therapy, starting to smile again. Jordan had stopped wetting the bed. Cameron was thriving, a normal loud 2-year-old. Simone's trial resulted in 15 years. Dr. Chen lost his license, got 8 years. Jonathan stepped down as CEO, started a foundation in Diane's name for abused children. Naomi legally took the Pierce surname, became the children's legal guardian alongside Jonathan, not a housekeeper. Family. One Saturday morning, Jonathan made pancakes with chocolate chips and whipped cream, all the sugar Simone had forbidden. Maya set the table. Jordan taught Cameron to fold napkins. Naomi poured juice, flour everywhere, Biscuit begging, Cameron singing loud. It was chaos. It was perfect. Maya looked up. Dad, I'm glad you came home, even disguised as a cook. Me too. Do you think Mom would be proud? I think Mom is so proud of you. She knew you were strong. After breakfast, they went to the park. Jonathan pushed Cameron on swings while Maya and Jordan raced. Naomi sat on a bench, joy on her face. A woman walking by stopped. Beautiful family. Thank you, Jonathan replied. Your wife is wonderful with them. Jonathan glanced at Naomi. She wasn't his wife, wasn't their biological relative, but family in every way that mattered. She is. She saved their lives. The woman smiled and walked on. Jonathan sat beside Naomi. You okay? More than okay. This is what Diane wanted. Her babies, safe and loved and free. We almost lost it. But we didn't, because when it mattered, you fought for them, and I was here to catch them when they fell. They watched the kids play, sun warm, sky blue, an ordinary Saturday, unremarkable to anyone but them. And it was everything. Years passed. Maya became a child psychologist specializing in trauma. Jordan became an artist. Cameron doesn't remember those dark days, but sometimes holds Naomi a little longer, knowing somewhere deep that she protected him. And Jonathan learned that being present isn't the same as being perfect. That loving your children means seeing them, really seeing them, even when it means disguising yourself and witnessing horrors that break your heart. Because the most important job any parent has isn't providing money or status. It's being there. It's protecting. It's loving fiercely enough to face down monsters, even when those monsters wear beautiful faces. The Pierce family still has dinner together every night. They celebrate with more joy than sorrow. They talk about Diane often. And sometimes when Jonathan makes breakfast the way he did as David Morris, pancakes with chocolate chips, orange juice, food made with love instead of control, His children remember. Because that's the difference. That's always been the difference. If this story moved you, hit subscribe. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment about where you're watching from and what this meant to you. Because stories like this remind us to pay attention, to protect the vulnerable, to love fiercely. That reminder saves lives. Thank you for watching. And remember, the people who truly love you will protect you even when you don't know you need protecting. That's how you know who your family really is.